Alrighty, this week's People News. Alright, educational purposes only. Okay, I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice. Okay, let's see. We always say, never look just straight forward, always look around us, be able to protect yourselves by any means necessary. Alright, use that Second Amendment, arm yourself knowledge. Alright, so you guys head your little butts over to power inherent in the people. Okay? And check out his work. He's doing great work. I'm not in his league. And I know what I know. He knows what he knows. And he's got a collective of people all working together to get things done and get our country on the right path. Okay? Now, that being said, I did a video a couple of videos back about this young lady right here, challenge jurisdiction of the court. But they are doing this, okay? But they don't know what it even means. They're going by hearsay. So people, do your own research. Quit going by hearsay, all right? These judges and attorneys and all of them play these stupid little games with us. And especially the bigger judges, okay? And they give information down to the lower ones and say, hey, if they challenge you, call them solve. All right? Well, that's acting in bad faith, dishonor, and then they take the robe off because they cannot be bipartisan. All right? They're picking one side over the other, and they're not operating the courts correctly. Okay? So, the reason why I'm bringing this up is for education. Okay, I'm arm length. All right, hear that again. I am arm length. Okay, and we're going to learn a little something about the SOBs. Okay, and that it's on the record in government. And it's not going to say it here, but there's a 1837 case saying sovereign blank citizen is the people. Okay, most of the court cases actually say sovereign is the people, it's men and women. Back in them days, back when we actually had real court. Okay, but that being said, on a side note, there is a court case out there, 1937, used the citizen part, but it still said it was still the people. All right, let's proceed forward here. Probably gonna be a commercial.
I would love to show you real quick in relation to what a real true sovereign citizen is as far as the definition is concerned. Don't let nobody fool you. This is a joint resolution from 1940. It was brought forth because it was authorizing the creation of I Am an American Day. Okay. And right here in the preamble, which you can see.
All right, we're going to take it a step further. With a nuanced change of words, today, this right here is called September 17th Constitutional Day. Okay? Constitutional Day of September 7th came from this, with some words changed periodically through the year. But this is the one it brought it up. And by the way, it was unlawfully changed, the words.
It says, whereas some 2 million young men and women in the United States each year reach the age of 21 years, and whereas it is desirable that the sovereign citizens of our nation, okay, so right there, sovereign citizens of our nation be prepared for the responsibilities and impressed with the significance of their status in our self-governing republic. So if you're really looking at this in the right manner, okay, just read this sentence again and understand how important it is, the depths of it. Whereas it is desirable, so something that is desirable to be, okay, that the sovereign citizens, so now we have a title in relation to where something is desirable, of our nation, meaning a collective body of Americans, be prepared. meaning that you got to be prepared for this status, for the responsibilities. So we take on responsibilities, okay, with being a sovereign citizen, but it is yet still desirable, and impressed with the significance. So now we're being impressed with a significance that is bar none of the highest, okay, of their status in our self-governing republic. So what's that mean? Self-governing republic. That means that I have a right to self-govern and can't nobody tell me otherwise. And until I bring harm to another, you just need to just leave me the F alone. You know what I'm talking about? Like straight up. Because I am.
Self-governance means that the Constitution, the federal Constitution, your state Constitution, is do not trespass upon our self-governing republic unless there is a victim. This is not hard to comprehend. It's been misplaced and mistrained, and we've been mistaught. And we've been all going by hearsay.
Self-governing. No one can tell me what to do. I self-govern. We live in an American self-governing republic. I hope we have this comprehended. Y'all can get mad at me and say, oh, you're reaching for a sovereign citizen. No, there was a definition and comprehension of sovereign citizen before it got changed into the sovereign citizen movement. Okay. Let's just really make that as clear as possible. Hopefully we've cleared that up a little bit for people. Because we ain't no sovereign. What is a sovereign citizen movement? Yeah, how do you? Well, come on, give it to me now. I was searching for it. Sovereign citizen movement. There we go. And let's just again make a distinction here between the two, because there's a sovereign citizen movement, not to be confused with sovereign individual, right? Or even sovereign citizen from what we just read. But what they will do is say the sovereign citizen movement, also sovCit movement or sovCits, is a loose group of anti-government activists. I ain't anti-government.
Now, I'm going to even stretch it more, right? So you get these people not really anti-government as much as the anti-corporation government, right? Because we want the republic government. We don't want the corporation government. If there's a corporation government, your township under Duns and Bradstreet and federal government is United States Corporation. What is it? Title 28 USC 3002, 15 Section B, I believe it is. United States is a corporation. Right? This is making you subjects. The corporation part's making you subjects. The government republic is what's making you self-governing and free.
I just want my government to do what they're supposed to do, which is protect me in this gracious aspect of what's been done here. So let's get back over to Russell. So Russell came.
All right. So we went through that part. We got a clear understanding. Okay.
Her suit. Oh man, I love it, man.
Precisely, you're charged with interference with law enforcement, no proof of insurance, no driver's license, and failure to register vehicle. You understand the charges?
I comprehend the alleged charges against me.
Thank you, Miss Leslie. Miss Leslie, you do have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford an attorney,
Excuse me, I was going to say that I comprehend the certain statutory allegations that have been made against me, but I cannot and do not admit to understanding or accepting the jurisdiction of this court over my person or the subject matter absent proof of corpus delicti and a verified complainant from an injured party.
Okay, you're currently employed.
For the record, Your Honor, just to start from the beginning, I, Sydney Taylor Leslie, appearing specially and not generally in propria persona, sui juris, as a living woman and not as a legal fiction or corporate entity, I reserve all rights without prejudice pursuant to UCC 1-308. Let the record reflect that my my appearance today is under explicit protest and duress, and solely for the purpose of challenging jurisdiction and preserving my unalienable rights. And, Your Honor, before these proceedings advance further, I must respectfully challenge this court's jurisdiction in toto and move for immediate dismissal of all charges. I hereby invoke the burden-shifting doctrine, which places the affirmative burden upon the prosecutor. Jurisdiction is a fundamental prerequisite to all jurisdictional proceedings. The legal maxim ex injuria just non auctora of law does not arise from injustice applies to these proceedings in their entirety.
Okay, and the court finds that Miss Leslie is appearing as a sovereign citizen before the court, and the court once again.
I object to any of that derogatory. It's very biased. I move for immediate dismissal on those grounds and disqualify.
Court overrules the motion for dismissal of.
Now, for educational purposes only, and me being arm's length, she challenged jurisdiction. According to his bosses of case law, once jurisdiction has been challenged, he needs to verify that there is jurisdiction over her. This is not hard for y'all to comprehend. It can't be. All right? You guys are basing too much on the court's misinterpretation of how it's for the people or for the subjects. Okay? So, they do gather up information, and what he is saying, that she is a, whatever you call it, but he never asked which one. Was it the individual of a man and woman? Well, she said she was a woman. All right? So she clearly established she was not the movement itself. And she clearly established that she has challenged jurisdiction of the court of the corporation part. Right? Your municipality and all them kind of things is a corporation. And what they're doing is putting you as if you are McDonald's. And they're arguing that McDonald's didn't follow the rules. That is called administrative, not judicial. So, later on, I'm led to believe and do believe, if there's a just judge, right, she's going to appeal this, and it's going to be dismissed. But you're going to hear people, well, all right, well, they just don't want to fight it. They just, they got better things to do. They got this, that, here, and there. Well, the other judge is probably going to take this judge and give him a good lashing. Like, she just told you what you guys were supposed to be doing, and you still brought her in my courtroom. All right? And again, this is what they are all having meetings. They're gathering information, and they are going by a definition of sovereign citizen movement. Even though the movement itself is challenging the corporation part, not the United States Republic, not the Texas Republic, not the California Republic. They're going, we want to stay out of the corporation part is the issue, okay? The corporation, you're a subject. You don't have rights to due process, all right, or a full extent of due process. That's the reason why they can charge you by information instead of actually verifiable proof of complainant with an affidavit under penalty of perjury, which is what the Fourth Amendment requires. All right, and I'll do another video on that part from Institute for Justice describing how they are violating your rights by issuing warrants by information, by hearsay, instead of an actual real man or woman, or even a legal person to find an affidavit under penalty of perjury. All right? They're making claims, they're trying to keep the victim safe, this, that, here, and there. But the Sixth Amendment says I have a right to face the accuser. Well, if no accuser signed an affidavit on appeal and a perjury, and they're still charging me, so that's violating the Fourth Amendment, and then jump violating the Sixth Amendment automatically. I don't get to face my accuser. This cannot be that complicated, people. Really. Anyway, I'm going to do a couple of videos later on, and I want you guys to get this sink in your head. Okay? Do I believe there's people out there in the movement part that don't believe in government? Yeah, there is them people, okay? But the ones I've seen was always challenging the corporation part, not the government republic part. And we've been so bound into the state of the corporation part, we don't even know what's up or down. I explained in other videos. State of Texas, everybody's violating Criminal Code 14, 15, 16. All right? And Transportation Code 543. But why do you think they're violating it? Because you don't have rights. You are in there, silence acquiescence, you tacitly agreed, you are a part of the corporation. And if you fight back, there's retaliation. Well, we're going to sentence you, instead of you doing a plea bargain for 2 years, we're going to go ahead and sentence you for the whole 8 years. All right? That is Miranda, right? The government is not allowed to coerce you. But that's what they're doing. They're coercing you. Take this plea, you're scared to death, the attorney's not helping you, so you make a plea, 98% conviction rate, innocent people go to prison. Problem solved. And the state still makes money, the court state makes money, and the attorneys make money. And your court-appointed attorney is not losing a whole lot of money because, what? He gets to go on cases that he's actually getting paid money to uphold the people's rights. And even then, they're not even doing it correctly. That being said, it's educational purposes. It's just my opinion. Okay? Do your own research. I'm not an attorney, not giving legal advice.
Overrules dismissal of the court does find it has jurisdiction to proceed, and subsequently the court says
I object. You called me a sovereign citizen. I object. You called me a sovereign citizen.
Yes, ma'am.
That is prejudice and bias.
No prejudice or bias is asserted as to yourself. However, the court, as opposed to trying to write down docket notes to that effect, is just recognizing what you are advising the court, that the court has no jurisdiction over you, and based on your statement made to the court. Subsequently,
There you go. That's what he's saying. All right? They're supposed to clearly establish how they have it, and he's never told her how they got it. Never. And the prosecutor is just sitting there, the one that's supposed to actually bring up subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction. Okay? He's talking for the attorney, the prosecutor. He's not even allowed to do that. Okay? He's breaking canons out the wazoo, y'all. His canon, judicial canons, he's breaking them all over the place. Due to our uneducational process that we've been misled to, we are thinking she is doing it wrong, but when you actually read the law and read the Constitution, she's doing it correctly, and he's got unclean hands. I am led to believe. Okay? Diesel We the People News. Bye, y'all.